Alrighty, we are given the x-intercepts. We are going to be able to write it in factored form. We'll also be able to write it in standard form. And also in vertex form. So, the same quadratic equation is going to be written 3 different ways. So, let's begin. So I'm going to give you the x-intercepts of a parabola, and I'm going to tell you they are 5 and 11. Now remember, what am I saying? I'm saying that this thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11, and there's 5. And my parabola comes down and looks like this. Right? So, every parabola, we can write, if I give you the x-intercepts, you can write it into factored form, standard form, and vertex form, because every parabola has a vertex. Every parabola looks like this, ax squared plus bx plus c. If you don't know what vertex form is, you haven't been paying attention. There you go. And then factored form is the new thing, and it looks like this. Alright, so I should be able to do that with one hand tied behind my back. Okay, so what do we know about factors? The factors are always the opposite of the x-intercept. So that means, y equals x minus 5 and x minus 11. Done. Factored form. Hey, that's the first one. Standard form. Now I have to do FOIL. So x times x is going to be x squared. Right? And then I do the outside. That's negative 11x. And the inside is negative 5x. And then negative times negative is positive 55. So standard form, excuse me, minus 16x plus 55. Standard form, done. How about that? Oh boy. Vertex form. Where is the bottom of this graph? Remember how to do it? You have to get the x's by itself. So we're going to have, we're going to subtract 55 from both sides, right? So that's going to be minus 55. And then I've got x squared minus 16x plus something. I don't know what that something is. Well, yes, you do. It is half of the middle. Well, the middle's negative 8. And then square it. So half the middle squared is 64. Now, what we put here has to go right here. 64. Alrighty. So, what's on this side? Well, negative 55. What am I saying? Negative 55 and 64 is 9. So I just need to come over here and do this. We are doing this one right now. Okay, so negative 55 and 64, that's 9. So this is y minus 9. Oh, gotta get this out of my way. Equals. And then remember that we have to factor this guy. Right? And it's always whatever half the middle is. So that's x minus 8. Yay! So y equals x minus 8 squared plus 9. That's wrong. This was positive 9. Okay, minus 9. I got it now. So, where's the vertex? The vertex is at positive 8, negative 9. Does that make sense on our graph here? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can believe that. Positive 8, negative 9. So, what are the three answers to the problem? The factored form, the standard form, and the vertex form. How about that? Let's do it again. So, that wasn't too hard, was it? La, 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 la. Let's try a little more complicated one. Just a tiny bit more complicated. So here we go. What are the x-intercepts, you say? How about 11/4 fraction? Ha ha! And 3/4. Okay. Now then, the deal about factors is there ain't no fractions allowed. So, when I write my factor, x minus 11, because remember it's always the opposite, and x plus 3/4, that's not allowed. Not allowed. What's going on? So I have to make them whole numbers. And so the way I do that is I have to multiply. I have to get rid of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply by the denominator. So instead of this, I'm going to have 4x minus 11. And here I'm going to multiply by the denominator, 4x plus 3. Ta-da! Factored form. No fractions allowed. So see, I changed it to be this. How did I do that? I took the bottom and moved it to the top. I moved it over here to the x. The bottom comes over here. This has exactly the same answers. The answer to this is negative 3/4. What makes this equal 0? What makes this one equal 0 is positive 11/4. So these are the two factors. Aha! So that means I can write it now in standard form. So if you come up with fraction answers, you be wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. So multiply that out. That's 16x squared. And then what is this? I do the outside. That would be 12. The inside would be negative 44. Holy smolian. And 33. Okay. So 16. I can add these middle terms together. 16x squared. What is that? Negative 32? Ha! Ha! And then minus 33. Okay. So we have y equals 4x minus 11. That's factored form. We have standard form. This is it. This is it. What is vertex form? Well, we have to add the 33 to this side. Right? And then we have 16x squared minus 32x. Ooh. Remember the step? It was last week, but you ought to remember the step. You have to divide by the leading coefficient. So 16's outside, and that's inside. Right? So, what's half the middle? Negative 1. 1 squared is 1. So 1 goes here. But what number goes here? Not 1. No, no, no. 16 times 1. That's what goes here. So 16 times 1. There we go. Now, on this side, we're going to have room down there. Looks like it. Y plus 49 equals 16 parentheses, and then I want factored form. So that's x minus 1. Remember, it's always half of the middle. Not half of this middle. It's half of that middle. And we did them all. We did vertex form. Hey, so what is the center of this thing, huh? Where is the vertex? It is at positive, oh no, I didn't move that. I have to subtract 49. Subtract 49. There we go. Now we have vertex form. Y equals this whole thing. Alright. So where is the vertex? It's at positive 1, negative 49. Holy moly. Does that make sense? Let's see. Where were we? We were at 11 fourths. So that is almost 3, because 12 would be 3. So 1, 2, 3. Not quite 3. There we go. And then this one is positive 3/4, so that's not quite 1. So, does that make sense? Well, I put it in the wrong place. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one's right here. That one's right there. And that makes sense. Yep. 1, negative 49. I can live with that. This one's negative 3/4. This one's positive 11/4. Yeah. And then one's right in the middle. I agree. Ta-duh. Okay. We did it. That's all of them. You ought to be able to do today's worksheet. Bye-bye.